Now to the deadly wildfires scorching parts of Los Angeles. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms and Explosives will lead a task force investigating the cause of the wildfires. The flames have killed at least 11 people and incinerated more than 12,000 structures. Evacuations for the largest wildfire, the Palisades fire, have now expanded. Officials at UCLA have asked students to be ready for a potential evacuation. Their wildfires have grown to nearly 3,000 acres in Los Angeles, and as a result, celebrities have been forced to evacuate their mansions. Ben Affleck had to evacuate his home and flee to his ex Jennifer Gardner's place. Photos obtained by Page 6 show the actor driving to her home, which has not been ordered to evacuate yet, but according to TMZ, everyone in her area is reportedly on standby. Some of you are so ridiculous. I keep having people in my comments section fantasizing, trying to manifest Ben Affleck getting back together with Jennifer Garner. When you really love somebody, they're always a part of you. There's a presence that they have even when you move on, and maybe you never wind up together, but they are a part of you. So Ben Affleck is caught in the middle of a fiery love triangle once again when the devastating wildfires forced him to evacuate his million-dollar home. Guess who he turned to for a roof over his head? It was none other than Jennifer Garner. And Jlo's not happy about that one bit. According to the streets, she's worried about the two rekindling their romance and is trying her best to but her way back into Ben's life, and at this point everyone agrees that the woman is obsessed. Just what's happening? Could this reunion reignite Ben and Garner's relationship, or is it all for the kids? And what does this mean for J-Lo, who's been hovering around Ben even after the divorce got finalized? Let's find out. I said that to Ben. I thought you wanted to be my Ben reunites with wife. The greater Los Angeles wildfires have forced more than 179,000 people to leave their homes, and Ben AFF got swept up in the chaos as well. He had to evacuate his $2.5 million Pacific Palisades home he bought 5 months ago for safety reasons. According to one source, Ben's home is still under evacuation order, but he feels so grateful his property is safe for the time being. And Ben knows many people who unfortunately lost their homes. He has seen a lot of devastation and it's beyond tragic. Ben is reaching out to anybody he can to help, but the big question is, where did he go after leaving his $1 million bachelor pad? Well, he rushed to his ex-wife's side. Jennifer Garner. The actor was spotted at Garner's house. Apparently he stopped by to check in on the wife and his 3 kids. Also, Garner's house was probably the only place where he could go since they live near one another anyways. After making sure his family was okay, Ben stepped out to check on his neighbors in Brentwood. Seems like he was trying his best to be a team player, and so was Garner. She was spotted with Chef Jose Andres, whose not-for-profit non-governmental organization World Central Kitchen has been providing food for victims of the fire. Safe to say the pair is trying their best to help each other and others around them as the fires rage on. In fact, Garner's been looking after Ben following his divorce from J-Lo. According to one source, Ben leans on her for everything. He's got his own place, but he's still at her house all the time for family dinners, and she never fails to send him home with a care package of food. She's very concerned about his health to the point where she reminds him when he needs to see the doctor and the dentist, and even sends him vitamins to take because she's convinced he doesn't get enough healthy food when she's not cooking for him. However, there's one person who's not happy about the reunion even in the current crisis, and that's J-Lo. Jlo's response: the premiere of JL's movie Unstoppable was cancelled because of the fires, and it seems like she wanted Ben by her side. According to one source, J-Lo has been concerned about Ben's well-being ever since she heard he was evacuated from his home. The insider told Page 6 that J-Lo has been checking in on Ben throughout this whole ordeal and let him know she's there for him and the kids. She offered her support for whatever they need and also offered assistance in any way she can. What's more, she reached out as soon as she heard about Ben's home possibly being in danger and that he was evacuated. It almost seems like J-Lo wants to extend a helping hand for once instead of creating up trouble, but fans are dead sure that she's not happy about Ben running into Garner's arms during his moment of crisis and would trade places with her in a heartbeat. Garner and Lopez have been friendly over the years, especially since Lopez was playing the role of stepmom to her kids, but there was always some sort of rivalry going on behind the scenes. For starters, JL was using her position as stepmom to come between Garner and her kids. See, Garner had a clear view on how she wanted to raise her kids. She didn't want to parade them around in the spotlight, which is why she was strict about their social media use. I just said to my kids, show me the articles that prove that social media is good for teenagers, and then we'll have the conversation. But gosh, find scientific evidence that matches what I have that says that it's not good for teenagers, then we'll chat. And how do they feel at this point? My eldest is grateful. Wow, see, you got to be in the long haul though. I have a couple more to go, so just knock on wood, we'll see if I really hang in there. Well, listen, but J-Lo wasn't on the same page. She has always been about the spotlight, and she wasn't shy about bragging about her relationship with the kids in front of the cameras as well. In fact, she had no issues using her relationship with Ben for the spotlight as well, something that Ben didn't approve of at all. Like, you're so out of touch. And now Ben's drank the Kool-Aid so deep he's going to compare it to his alcoholism. Like you do with alcohol, is that there isn't enough alcohol and all-merce in the world to fill up that thing. And in Jennifer's case, I don't think there's enough followers or movies or records or any of the stuff to distill that part of you that still feels a longing and a pain, needing attention, needing to be wanted. That yes, exactly, that she's full of herself. Even you can tell how uncomfortable he is having to share this. And I assume she's in the room listening. Ultimately, that's the work that you've got to do on your own. That's the work you got to do on your own. However, after her priorities led to issues in her relationship, she had a change of heart about bringing the kids out for the pops. Being the child of famous parents is really not something that many people can understand, and I feel for them for that, because they didn't choose that, and I haven't talked to them a lot about this. They have just started letting me know how people treat them and do things like that when they walk into the room. That's what people are thinking about. They're not seeing them for who they are, and I think that has to be a really hard thing if you go along as an actress and or performer in this business. And it's a very me business. You know what I mean? My career, my things, what am I going to do next, what are my choices? And when you have kids, it becomes not about you, it becomes about them. And what's going to make them happy, and what's going to make them better, and what's going to be better for. Unfortunately, it was probably a little late for that moment of realization, because she had managed to stir up trouble for Garner and her kids. See, back in 2023, Garner's kids moved in with J-Lo and Ben after they got married. Typically you'd expect the stepmom to not get along with the kids, but that's not what happened here. According to several sources close to the pair, the kids love spending time with their cool stepmother over their strict mother. One source said Ben and J-Lo are still waiting to move into their forever home, but they're settled enough that the kids are over there a lot. The source also said that the kids had bonded well with J-Lo and her twins Emmy and Max, whom she shares with ex-Mark Anthony. However, there was one person who wasn't happy about the situation, and that was Garner. Apparently she had some reservations about her kids getting so close with Lopez that they didn't want to talk to their own mother. But did J-Lo care? No. According to one source, she doesn't want to step on any toes. But she's not going to change who she is either. Obviously she doesn't discipline them as much because she doesn't want to overstep her bounds, and Ben has always been the more lenient parent. Fortunately, things are different now with the divorce finalized. J-Lo doesn't spend as much time with the kids, and even if she wants to, can't, because Garner's using the opportunity to set boundaries for the first time. According to one source close to Garner, she wants the contact to be strictly about the kids. The source also said it's not a problem for Jen or Ben that Violet has a good relationship with J-Lo, but the closeness with her extended family, especially Linda, is hard to understand. J-Lo getting close to Violet felt odd to Jen, and then Linda went to meet Violet at her school. Jen's loyalty is to the father of her kids, Ben, and their children, because they love J-Lo, but Jen would never badmouth her or speak negatively about her. Everyone knows that if J-Lo wanted to spend time with her children aside from Violet, it would have to go through Jen. For those of you who don't know, Linda is J-Lo's sister that said Garner didn't set up boundaries just for the sake of the kids. She did it for herself as well. Apparently she felt used as a pawn during the breakdown of Lopez's marriage to Ben Affleck. She had to play the role of a mediator while J.L.